Okay, hello everyone and welcome to this video. My name is Dimitris and I'm going to try and make a simple explanation video on how to join a Webex meeting, video conference using the Webex application. Now keep in mind there are two applications, it's the Webex meetings and the Webex Teams. This one concerns the Webex meetings. Now if a host has is hosting actually a video conference, an online meeting, they will send you an invitation, an email invitation. And here it is, we can see it on my screen, and keep in mind they will send you this invitation once they start organizing it. And you will receive an email reminder 15 minutes before the actual video conference. That is quite handy, quite nice, quite useful. How to join the meeting is quite an easy process. All you have to do is just click on the email. You will find some information about the meeting. It will give you some calendar information. It's very useful for your Google Calendar. And there are three buttons over here where you can state whether you're joining, maybe, or not joining at the video conference, the meeting. Now this is very useful for the host. I would suggest that you press those and you do state whether you're joining or not. It will help them very much with their organization. Now it says in my case that I'm the host of this Webex meeting. I know because I organized it for the purpose of this video. It will give you some extra information if you're computer savvy and if you have used Webex before. This information could be useful if you just want to enter it, but pretty much the process is quite simple. All you have to do is just to press this big start meeting button when the time is due. It will also give you the time over here in UTC format. You can Google that if you don't understand, and you can compare it with your own city. UTC +1 in this case is Greenwich time +1, and that is the London time, etc. But do find more information about that on Google on how to convert to your own time. The email will also give you some extra information like how to join by phone, by dialing this number. I wouldn't suggest that because I would expect, United Kingdom toll. That means that if I'm in Greece, for example, if I dial a United Kingdom number, that means I could get charged an overseas phone call, and that could cost a lot of money for me. So I wouldn't suggest that. If you have internet, well, that's all you need. It has a link also for global call-in numbers, so I would suggest it has also numbers for your country. But I would just go with the online option, which is this big button again over here, Start Meeting. Okay, it also gives you some other information as well, but just avoid that. Just click on Start Meeting. Now, when you click that, it will open a new tab and it will actually start downloading Webex at this point if you haven't downloaded it already. I have, and it's running, and since it is running, instead of the download, it gives me the option to open it. That's what it says here. I know it's all Greek to you, I'm sorry, but what it says here is that this page is trying to open the application called Cisco Webex Meeting. Shall I allow it? And if I have it installed, then I click yes. Personally, I prefer to have it installed as an application on my computer. And this is what this video is all about. I'm trying to go through the process of how to join a video conference by using your laptop or your desktop. Now, if you want to join using your Android phone or your iPhone or your tablet or your iPad or another mobile device, now that's a different story. Again, it's not that difficult. It's quite easy. It's pretty straightforward. So you won't find a lot of difficulties. It's just more or less the same again. You just go to your email and you just press the big button. If you don't want to install the application, if you don't know how to install the application, if you don't want to go through this process, there's quite a nice alternative over here. You can see it on the bottom of the screen. It says, having trouble opening the desktop app, join from your browser. That means you can still join the video conference without installing the Webex Meetings application. Just by using Google Chrome or Microsoft Edge, Internet Explorer, Opera, Microsoft Firefox, whatever you're using, Safari or whatever. So you can go that way if you want. Now in my case, I do have it installed, so I'm going to press this button and say open the Cisco Webex meeting. So now you will see me. I don't look fantastic, but okay, that's who I am. Hi. Okay, in this case, don't worry, nobody can see you in the conference yet. This is like a pre-entrance or something, where it exists only for testing purposes, just to see that your camera is working. If you want, you can use some extra light or something if you want to be, you know, more bright. And it's good that you don't have something weird in the background, people moving around, your family, your kids or whatever, but it's difficult days now, so it's quite understandable, I think. In my case, I have this window over here and this balcony. If they're open, there's a lot of light coming from the background, so as a result people cannot see me. So I tend to close them, to close any light sources in the background. It's easier for people to see you. Unless, of course, you have your camera closed, turned off, and you don't like to be seen. You will also see inside the conference room that these two buttons, mute and stop video, exist along with other buttons. I do mention them from now because it's a very good practice, and I do recommend it. Once you're in the video conference room, that you keep your microphones muted, especially when there are many people in the room. Let's say you have a meeting of 15 or 20 people. If everybody starts talking at the same time, it's going to be chaos and nobody will be able to listen to nobody. It's a good discipline to keep your microphones muted and only talk when you're given the word to talk, when you're given the opportunity. Usually the host will do that. It depends, of course, but this is a good practice and I recommend it. Now in this case, this window, it also gives me this button over here. This is the mirror button. If I move to the left, then I see myself moving to the right. But if I use the mirror button, I feel more like I'm looking at the mirror, and it feels better. This is only for you. The rest of the people in the meeting room will see you normally, not mirrored. So I just leave it as it is. So I think everything looks fine, and I just join the meeting. So I press this button. It will open the application, and here I can see the other two people who are instances of myself. The main picture will show you. Yeah, I'll have to turn off some microphones and stuff like that. Bear with me, because I can hear myself. Okay, yeah. I'm using TeamViewer as well for the other computers. Right now, whoever is talking, this is the person's image you will see coming up. First you saw this office, and then you saw this blank image which comes from my phone. That I have just put a paper over it so that you don't see any silly backgrounds, just like this office over here. I'm sorry it looks like a mess, but well, that's the best I can have now. So as you can see over here on the right, everyone's microphone is muted at the moment, and this is a best practice. This is what I call best practice. When there's too many people in the conference room, only open your microphone when you have to talk. Don't keep it open all the time. Now, what is quite frustrating is over here you can see only the guy who is talking at the moment, and I really don't like this too much. I prefer to see everyone if possible. So there's this button over here that if you mouse over, you see these 4 little dots. If you click on that, you will see that you have the grid view. Now it doesn't show me when I mouse over the buttons. It normally gives you some messages. For some reason it doesn't do it right now, but yeah, this is the grid view, and I find this much more useful. I am going to, because I'm the host, it doesn't give me an option to raise a hand to talk. Now it's a good practice when you are a member, a participant in a video conference, that you don't just open your microphone whenever you like and just intrude, and this would be chaos. Imagine if a video conference has 50 or 100 people, if everybody is just turning their own microphone on and saying, I want to say something. That would be chaos. A good respectful practice is to raise your hand. You're going to say, okay, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I'm just going to raise my hand in front of the screen. There are two options, but this is my screen. I will show you what happens from the screen of a participant. So I'm going to go here in this computer. I'm connected by TeamViewer, so you can see next to my name as a participant there is a little hand, and if you mouse over it says raise hand. So if you click that, now let's go back to the host, my computer. I can see that this guy over here has raised his hand. This guy is sitting on that chair. So he has raised his hand, and I can unmute him and say, okay, I can hear you now, do tell me what you want. Now this is a very good practice because we avoid having chaos of people talking together at the same time. Also, I would like to point out, I'm going to go from the participant's computer again. If you have talked, it's good that you click this little hand again. It says lower hand. If you click it, that means that the host, in my case over here, I don't see the hand anymore. When you have spoken, you can lower your hand. Don't forget to do that. Now, another option, if you want to talk, instead of raising your hand, is by using this button here. You can see it just became blue, and it enables this part over here on the right. This is the chat option, and I can say, for example, can I talk? Can I talk? And this will go to everyone. You can see it goes to everyone. But I can select not to send it to everyone. I can send a private message to this user or that user. It depends. So this is one way to ask for permission to talk, or you can ask any questions. For example, I didn't understand much at number 3, subject number 3. Can you repeat that or something? This is the best option. Please try to do that. Of course, it depends on your conference, but I think this is the best practice. Now, something else. I'm going to go through the participants' computer just to show you. You can see that I'm wearing headsets. A headset, and the reason I wanted to show you this is because now you're going to see me in this little window. So why am I recommending a headset? Because with the headset we do avoid a lot of echoing or other noises. If I hear you through the speaker of my computer, then maybe the voice coming out from my speaker goes again to the microphone, and we have a loop of sound creating an echo effect for everybody. Imagine now if we have 50 people or 20 people in the same conference, and everybody's microphones and speakers are making these echo noises. It's going to be chaos. It's not the end of the world if you don't have a headset, but do try to have one. It's best practice. That will solve a lot of problems. The conference will still go on if you don't have one, but it will help very much if you have one. Just keep that in mind. Now, other things I can show you here. As I said, this is the mute button over here. You can see it's this microphone button here. It's red. That means I'm muted at the moment. Nobody can hear me. Nobody can hear my voice. This is the camera button. If I click it, you can see I just disabled my camera, and you can see also here on the desktop there was a change on the light. If I do enable it again, you will see that it changed the light over here. So that means that it's obviously visible on the other computer as well. Everybody can see me now, but nobody can hear me. If I click this button, I can enable again my microphone or disable it, and everybody can hear me or not. This button here is for sharing. I just had my self-echoing. That's a problem. This is why I keep it muted as well. This button over here is for sharing content with everybody else. If I click that, it gives me the option to select what I want to share with everybody else. I can share this, that, or a PowerPoint presentation, or whatever I have open. This is very, very useful when you're doing a presentation. So I'm going to click X because I don't want to share something at the moment. Just keep that in mind. This button over here, this is for with the red dot. This is for recording the session. If you want, you can do that, but it's you have to ask for permission from everybody that they allow you to do this, so that you want to be GDPR consent, you know, because of the GDPR laws now. So it's good to ask. This button over here is the participants list. You can just enable it or disable it. If these two are disabled, you can see that there's more space from the right. But if I do click the participants button again, I can see the participants on the right. And this button again is for chatting. You can write your messages here, as I showed you before. And this button with the 3 dots, it gives you some options, some extra options. Copy meeting link is one of them that could give you the meeting link has been copied to your clipboard. So if I go to a notepad, for example, and paste, this is the link, I can give it to somebody else that I want them to join. If I want them to join this conference, it's quite useful. This is only for your meeting, so it's quite handy. So if I click these 3 dots again, I can see another useful option here is the speaker, microphone and camera. Now when I click that, this window comes up, and right now that I have these options open, nobody in the conference room can hear me. Keep that in mind. When you are setting your speaker, your microphone and camera, nobody at the conference can hear what you're saying. So do inform them before, if you're trying to change everything, that it will take you some time and to adjust your I don't know, volume or whatever. It has happened to be in previous conferences that people could not hear me very well using this headset, although it's a very good headset. And I was wondering what the problem was. I noticed that this option was enabled, automatically adjust volume. So you can see if I speak with a lower voice, you can see that this is actually dropping. But if I speak with a much louder voice, perhaps now it drops even more. So it happened that people couldn't hear what I was saying sometimes. So what I did was I disabled this, and I took this bar all the way to the right again, over here. And everybody could hear what I was saying. Now this is how it works with my equipment. Perhaps it works differently with your equipment. All you have to do is just test it and ask your fellow participants if they can hear you well. Now this is very useful. All you have to do once you've changed your settings from over here is just to click this X button here on the top, and you're out of it, and that's it. I don't know if I have, if I did forget mentioning anything. I think this is pretty much about it. If you want to exit from the meeting, if you want to leave the meeting, you can click this red X button over here. Now in my case, because I'm the host, it gives me 2 options. To end the meeting, that means it ends for everyone, or to simply leave the meeting and leave it open. That means for everybody else. Perhaps I have to go, I'm the host, perhaps that's it, I'm finished, but you know, maybe everybody else wants to just sit around and have a chat, you know, it's not bad. So I would just leave the meeting and let them alone to continue talking if they want. Why not? Now Webex is very kind, and these days that we have this pandemic with the COVID-19, they have raised the limit of 40 minutes. And you can chat up to 24 hours. There's no limits practically, for up to 100 people or 50 people, I don't remember. If you check the price plans, I think it's 50 people. I find this really useful, and this is the reason why I selected Webex by Cisco. It's very nice, and I do recommend it as an application. Well, in any case, I hope you enjoyed. I'm going to end the meeting for everybody. So it gives me the option to save the meeting files if there are any files that we have, like notes that we have kept with everybody else, end meeting, and that's it. The meeting is ended. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask in the comments section. I will be glad to answer them. I hope you enjoyed it. Take care and goodbye.